Chapter 15, Aiko. Exterior house day. Art walks up to the front door of a house that has the typical Polynesian architecture. There are banana plants and papaya trees in the front yard. Art knocks on the door, but no one answers. He waits for a second and knocks again. Still, no answer. As he heads to the car, he notices a figure at the end of the cliff point sitting down with a surfboard. Art looks at her and starts walking towards her. Aiko Matsuda is sitting cross-legged with her surfboard on her lap. Aiko is Japanese. She is one of the premier shapers of big wave surfboards on the island. She is sitting at the end of the cliff point on a plot of green grass. Aiko is sanding one of the fins on her surfboard. The cliff point is about 30 feet wide and drops vertically 250 feet straight down. Both sides of the cliff have small U-shaped coves filled with crystal clear water and coral reefs. Art walks up to Aiko. Art is checking out the unbelievable view as Aiko sits there sanding away. Aiko is sanding and looking at her surfboard. She knows Art is next to her, but has not looked up at him yet. Aiko, killer view, eh? Art, unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Art looks around some more, then looks down at Aiko. Art, what's that you're doing? Aiko looks up at Art. Aiko, there's not enough foil in the fins. See? Aiko lifts the board up and points to an outside edge of the fin. Art crunches down to take a look. Aiko, fins are one of the most important components of a surfboard, but one of the least understood. You can have the best shaped surfboard, put a set of crappy fins on it, and that board will ride like a dog. Art, I never thought about that. Aiko, most surfers haven't. Art, what size board is that? Aiko, it's a 910 Rhino Chaser. I shaped it for the upcoming big wave season. Aiko hands him the tail of the surfboard, and Art picks it up and begins to scrutinize it. Aiko, this board will catch waves that you don't want to get into. Art, yeah, I believe that. Aiko, see the rails? Art flips the board on its side and looks and feels the rails. Aiko, they're a bit thicker. It breaks over a quarter mile out, and the wind tends to chop the face up. The chop will bounce off the rails. Plus, you need lots of length since the wave is so relentless and fast. When it's 30-foot faces, you've got to get speed up to make the 20-yard closeout sections. Or die. Art gives her a bit of an astonished look, then looks back at the board. Art, I would think a board made for massive waves like that would have a thicker stringer. Aiko, no, because at a certain point, you want the board to snap in half. Art, what? Aiko, that's right, snap. A perfect example is this one guy who was surfing 35-foot waves. He was making a bottom turn as the lip of the wave crashed down on him. The power of the wave smashed him on his board and broke his leg in half near his hip. As he surfaced, the last thing he remembered was his foot hitting him on the side of his head. The guy almost drowned. Now, if his board would have snapped in half on impact, the whole situation would have never happened. Art hands the surfboard back to Aiko. Art, do you think you could shape me one of these? Aiko, I don't shape boards for just anybody, especially boards made for waves of this magnitude. When you're talking about surfing giant waves, you're talking a special breed of person. That person is not necessarily the best shredder on the beach. Instead, that person has the determination to drop in on a huge wave, look death straight in the eyes, and charge it. It's not made for someone who comes over here for a month just to say they surf the islands. Art: Well, I'm planning to stay here permanently. In fact, I'm looking for someone named Aiko who lives in that house over there. Art points at the house he just left. Aiko: Oh, you must be Art, right? Art: That's right. It's nice to meet you. I'm Aiko. Aiko shakes Art's hand. Aiko: Kimo said you're a pretty good surfer and that you give off a good vibe. Kimo is a well-respected surfer and a great judge of character. So if you want the room, it's yours. Art: Cool, I'll take it. Since Kimo has given me such an outstanding reference, does that mean you'll shape me a rhino chaser like this? Aiko: Nope. Not till you prove to me you've got what it takes. Art: Well, you better start working on it, 'cause I know I've got it. They both look at each other and laugh. Dissolve 2, end of chapter 15, Aiko. This is Mark, the author of The Bond Between Surfers. I'm creating a surfing grassroots effort to make this book into a feature-length film. Help support the project by purchasing the book, ebook, or audiobook. All proceeds will go to funding the film. Then one day, you'll be sitting in the movie theater, looking up at the big screen, and you can proudly say, I bought the book and made this movie. For more info, check out my website, tbbsurf.com. Thanks for your support.